You guys, I have finally come to the realization that I have bad habits. I have finally come to the realization that procrastination is such a problem and we have to overcome it. There's something I heard someone say, and it's that perfection is procrastination in disguise. You always wait for things to be perfect before you make the first move. Always wait to have all the things that you desire before you start the things that you really want to do. And that is where the problem is. The clarity comes as you move. So, yes, we are going to defeat procrastination today. And I am starting by making one of my Pinterest boards. Welcome back to my channel. And I am starting by making one of my Pinterest boards. It's an asymmetrical skirt. You can also call it like an handkerchief flare skirt. And I feel like this design has been around since time immemorial. I remember that when I started learning fashion in 2014, yeah, it was one of the things that we tried out. So sometimes we use it as sleeves of a dress. So instead of doing like, if you want to have like flare sleeves on the wrist of your garment, you can do like a small flare, still the same cut, but like you use like your round wrist measurements and have that same effect. You can use it as a hem of a garment, hem of a top. So it's like it's been around for ages and people just like diversify how to like use it and all of that, and I'm surprised that it made its way back. I like making outfits for like clients, my friends, people around me, but for myself I feel like it becomes such a very hard thing to do, and most times I don't end up finishing it, or I finish it at a very long time. Like it takes months if not weeks, okay, months if not years. That's I told you. But yeah, so that's how it is. So yes, let's get into the business of the day. So I'm going to be showing you like different bits of the process. So yes, let's go. So you need a tape roll. I have this, and this is the inch side. So this is like in inches. It has two sides. This side is in inches. Can you see it? While this other side is in centimeters. If you do not know how to read a tape roll, you can go online and check that out. So I'll be using an Ankara fabric, and so this is what Ankara means for people that are not Africans. So it's an indigenous African fabric, and it comes in different patterns, different prints and texture. There is the paper-like texture, there is the nylon, there's the viscose rayon. So depending on what you want to do, and sometimes there is a test of knowing the fabrics that will fade when you sew it. Most people say that if the print on the outside, this is the right side, and on the wrong side, if it's the same thing, then it means it will last. To be honest, yeah, most times it works, but the other times I just feel like it might be a ruse. These are the basic measurements you need to achieve this tutorial. Let's say this is the entirety of your fabric, so all you need to do is fold it into two. After folding it into two, you fold it again into four. So you have something like this. Now this folded part, so you have like the part that is folded, and you have the part that the edges are frail. So the folded part is what you need. That is where you draw your circumference on. This side too is folded, this side as well is folded. You want something defined, like just accurate. Divide your waist by 4. So waist divided by 4. So let's say your waist is 28. You have a tiny waist. Divided by 4, that's 7. So just measure 7 from the tip of this paper. Measure 7 here, measure 7, measure 7, and you form a circle. Now, because this is a small piece of paper, I'm just going to assume the measurement is whatever it is. It's a small piece of paper, so I really cannot measure it. This is what I have. I divided my waist circumference by 4. And I just follow that. So this is the side with the folded edge. This side is also folded, while this side is like the etiage, that's the self edge. So yes, I'm just going to cut here. If you want more width, or you want to pleat more on the waist circumference, instead of using your exact waist measurement by 4, feel free to add a bit of allowance. So maybe your waist is like 28, you can multiply that by 3 and then just divide it by 4. So yeah, you cut this, and that's all. This side is not the same length as this side, and that's fine, because by the time you open it up, so you have both your front and your back, and I'm just going to divide the paper so I can show you what it looks like. That's your side, this side I'm cutting is this side. So yeah, now I have this. It looks like a buba. It's giving me PTSD. So yes, by the time you sew it, this is what you would have. Yes, so yeah, voila, and that's your skirt. So this is what we have by the time you are done cutting. This is your waistline, and yeah, you can just pretty much, that's your skirt. This is the front, this is the center front. Can you see that it feels straight while the sides are longer? That's because we use like an uneven length. So this is the side of the skirt. I'm going to show you on an actual fabric, so you can just, it's the same thing we have for the back. So just sew it by the sides, then you can put an elastic band, or you put bias, just turn the edge of the waistline, and you can run like elastic on the waist hem, or you just fold it in and do your, if you don't want to put a zipper, sew the sides of the front and back, run your elastic band, and that's all. Do you get what I mean? And that's all. So this is what we have for the skirts. Can you see that it's forming what we want? So if you're okay with this split, that's fine. If you want more pleats, feel free to. I'm using my hip divided by 4 because I want it to have a little bit of pleats on the waistline for the main flare. So yes, I'm going to measure. This is a folded side. This side has a folded side, while those sides have like the self edge. So ensure that it's equal. Now this side I have length. This is the length of the Ankara, so that's 45. Yeah, the total length here is 45, while the length here is 39.5. So the lengths are not the same. So yes, I'm just going to measure 10 inches. I'm using a circumference of 40. That's 40 divided by 4, that's 10. Remember that I added a bit because I want small pleats on the waistline. Then you can decide to just use your exact waist measurement. So if your waist measurement is 28, do 28 divided by 4. And yeah, so I'm just spinning around so that you get an accurate measurement.
We keep on moving, we keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. We keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it.
Woo! You can already see the result of the skirt. Can you see it? And yeah, you have this, and you can just twirl around. Yeah, so that's that. So this is what it looks like after cutting. Yeah, the essence of adding pleats when I was cutting is so that I can gather it in just a bit on the waistline. Oh, I forgot to mention that there is a flap that will be over it, so you can decide to use the same fabric or use another fabric for your flap. But yeah, this is what I have for the. You are going to sew it on the edge. Yeah, and then it drops on the side of the waist. I'll probably show you a paper illustration of what that looks like. So yes, this is what you have. Do you get what I mean? So just mark the center front of this. This is the front piece. So you have 2 pieces. This is one for the front, one for the back. So just join it by the sides here, and you can fold the hem like on 1 inch, tape it, run your elastic through it. So your elastic could be your precise waist measurement. You can even reduce a bit because the elastic is like stretchy when I start sewing. But yeah, this is the result we have, and our skirt is ready. Can you see it looks full? And I think I like the fluidity of the skirt. I like that it forms on its own, so I don't think I will just add anything else. So this is going to be my flap for the skirt, and I have a total of, this is what it looks like, and I have a total of 22.5 inches by 12.5. Honestly, this thing depends on how long you want it to be and how dramatic you want it to be by the sides. 22.5 is not bad, but I feel like it's not going to drop so much. So, oh yes, it's on fold. Don't forget it's on fold. So by the time you open it, yeah, I think it's decent. But yes, if you want it longer on the sides, feel free to add more so that you can extend it. Feel free to add more by the sides. I'm just going to notch the center front. Remember, I have two pieces, so one will be the center front, one will be the center back. For a waistline of 30 inches, just measure from your center front where you notched and measure. That's 30 divided by 4 will give me 7.5. So I'm just going to make a mark on that point. So you can either notch it, or you just put a chalk mark. I'm just going to give it a small notch, and I'm going to add a pin on that point. So that's the point where I'm going to join it on my skirt when I start sewing. This is your skirt piece, and yeah, this is the middle point. So you also have to notch the middle point of your skirt. In my case, I'm going to be adding a little bit of pleat, so find the middle point of this one, which is where you notched, and sew it on here. Ensure that right sides are facing right sides like this. Then the sides of my front, so after I've already gathered this skirt, the side will stop where this mark is. That's what we just did. Do you get? So whatever is left here, this side now would be the flap. I'll show you when I start sewing so that you understand better, so that I don't confuse you. Do you get what I mean? So yes, that's why we're notching the flap. It's because this is what you are going to add on your waist measurement. This is what's going to be on your waist measurement, while the remaining one is going to droop by the side. Can you see what I meant earlier, that it's going to be short? This is short. That's because my fabric is not enough. So ensure you have like a longer fabric. For your pockets, ideally you should use 12 inches by 7. So 12 inches will be the length, while 7 inches will be the width. That's the length and the width. But for me, I already have a piece from the waist circumference, and it just looks like what a pocket will be. It has a curved edge and it's long. So this is currently about 9.5 by 9.5, almost 10. So I can decide to trim the width a bit while the length remains the same. So this is the length and this is the width. So this length is fine. I can decide to reduce the length a bit, and I think I'm going to do that. So this will be my pocket. You need 4 pieces of this, so I'm going to cut this into 4. I'm cutting the folded side. So I have 4 pieces, 2 each on both sides. So you can mark your right side and the left side. Yeah, this will be my pockets. Also, to sew the pocket, I'm going to be doing something, and which is I'm going to be measuring about ½ inch from my waistline. My chalk is not close by. Well, I'm going to use my pin as a marker. So I'm going to measure about ½ inch from my waistline, which is this, and I'm going to measure 6. So that will be the pocket opening. So you can use 6 or 6.5. Yeah, I think I'll use 6.5. So it has a bit of depth. So the essence of what I just did is that this point from here to here will be the opening of my pocket. That is where my pocket depth will be. Do you get what I mean? So to do my pockets by the side, so this is my skirt, this is the waistline, this is the side unfold, and this is the side front. So this is the center front, CF, and this is SF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down on this by 1 inch, and I can either put a pin mark on that side. This is 1 inch. and then I'm going to come down by 6.5. That's my pocket depth, and I'm also going to make a mark. This is where my 1 inch is, and I'm just going to make a notch on that point. I'm sure you do it at the edge of your skirt, so that's 1 inch. Then I'm going to measure 6.5 inches as the depth. So I measured 1 inch and I made a notch. Then I'm also going to measure 6.5 as the depth of my pocket from that point. Ensure your pieces are together. So this is where 6.5 is, and I'm just going to make another notch. Yes. Then I'm going to pick my pocket pieces. I'm going to measure 6.5, and I'm just going to make a notch on the part where I have 6.5. Alright, I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start from this part where I made a notch. That's my starting point. And, okay, so yes, pin it together on this side. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to sew from the 1 inch mark I made here, and yeah, to join the 6.5 inches. This is the pocket depth, so you're going to sew this from here to here on a straight line. All right, and that's where you stop. So let's go do that. When you are done sewing, you have something like this.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO, babe. I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on.
So because I want to run a little bit of elastic, like pleats on the waistline of the skirt, I'm going to run a loose stitch. Just sew, you know, usually you have to back stitch at the edge. I won't be doing that. Just sew it straight on about 0.5 inch. And I'm just going to extend here, cut it so that I can drag the rope. Do the same on the other side. After sewing your stitch, the reason why I did that was because I wanted to like add more fullness to the waist, but you do not have to do that. So after sewing, after sewing loose stitch, don't cut the thread. So just pick one side of your thread, just pick one edge here, and then just start drawing. Ensure that it doesn't cut, so be as gentle as possible. Don't do this if you're in a rush. So you're just going to gather it till it gets to the actual waist circumference. If your thread cuts while you're doing this, just start all over again, my dear. So yes, I'm just going to do that. And to be honest, you can actually avoid this asu by just, by just cutting the exact waist circumference of your measurement instead of adding extra. This is just extra work. So this is what I have after gathering the skirt. This is the rope I pulled. Can you see it? So this is what I have. So ensure you gather it to the actual width of your waist, like your actual waist measurement, and don't cut this rope until you are done sewing, because you might have to adjust it as you start sewing. Honestly, you can skip this process by just cutting your exact waist measurement. But yeah, I just want to see how it would help my pleats. And yes, once you are done doing these gathers, make sure to mark, don't notch, just pin your center front, because once you cut out the thread, everything rips off. So yes, just make a mark on where your center front is, and that's where you start sewing your flap. So this is what I have currently, and I'm just going to do the same for the other side. Here's what we have after sewing the edges. you'll have this opening by the waist while the sides are already sewn, and I've pressed the hem, so we have this opening, and this is what it looks like. Can you see that the flap is already coming together? So here's what we have after sewing the skirt. This is the flap, and this is the opening that will go on the waistline of the skirt. We've already sewn the sides. Feel free to extend yours and make it longer if you want. And this is the hem. We've already sewn it, pressed the seam so that it doesn't frill. Now this is the opening, so can you see that it's already dripping? Then you just take your skirt that you ruched earlier, or just your skirts, then find the midpoint of the skirt and sew it. So this is a skirt, that's the side with the pockets. So this is the side with the pockets. So you're just going to sew it from the 1 inch mark we made here. That's 1 inch below your natural waistline. So this side is open, then you sew it round. This side that we like fixed to the skirt, you are not going to tape it permanently. That's the only side that is open. So just sew it round, sew it round, sew it all the way down, and then when you flip it in, can you see my hands can enter the pocket? That's because this side was not done permanently down. I just sewed it to like the sides of the skirt, and yes, that's what I have for the piece. And I'll just go ahead. This is the ruched waist. Can you see? Just a bit loose pleats here, so I'm just going to add my band. So this is for my waistband. The height is 4 inches and the width is your waist measurement plus ½ inch. So that's ½ inch on both sides. That's 1 inch. Do you get? And then I'm just going to notch this side. This is the center front. I'm just going to notch it. So this is on fold, by the way. So by the time I open it, to be a long strip. So yes, I'm going to do that. And you can go ahead to your ironing table and just press it like this, like fold it into two, press it, and we'll aim like a top stitch on this. That's what I'm going to be doing. So go ahead and fold it into two, iron it. Take this black elastic, and the length of the elastic is about 1 inch. That's why I'm folding. Once I do this, I need an allowance of 1 inch. So any excess, I'm going to turn it in so that there is enough space for my band to stay well and not fold. So yeah, you can decide to run 2 elastic lines depending on what you want. I mean, feel free to play around it, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm gonna head to iron the band into 2. So this is one side facing the other one. My elastic is 1 inch, so it would dress well. Feel free to increase the length of this so that it stays well, but I'm just going to top stitch on 0.1 at the edge. Yeah, so that's what I have. And then I'm going to cut the elastic. So if my waist is 30 inches, reduce like 3 inches from your waist so that it stretches, so that you can have like a perfect stretch. If you want it tighter than that, minus 4 inches from your waist. And so instead of doing 30 on the elastic, use 26. So I'm just going to top stitch this and create an opening of maybe 1 inch, so I can use safety pin to pass my elastic in. And yes, the band, join the 2 sides of your band together first. Can you see? Join the edges together first, then weave the edge.
For no other song could be worthy of beautiful, wonderful you. Now who could have thought this could happen? Who would have ever believed? Could it be true that someone like you could fall for somebody like me? I'll swing along.
So yes, I left this small opening for the band, so I'm going to close it now. The elastic is already inside. So this is elastic waistband. I ran a double stitch on it. I'm just going to attach this to my dress. You can run your stitches like 3 times or 2 times. I have a double stitch. So to attach the waistband, this band to your main skirt. I'm going to fold it into two like this. Then I'm going to notch. I'm folding it into two, looking for this will be the side one, just a bit. Don't notch it a bit. That side one, then the other side, the other edge, that side two. Because as I'm sewing, I'm going to be dragging it a bit, so I need like a landmark for the sides.